Why, hello, dear friends, and welcome back to another fun episode of working on the car to get this stuff finished. If you've done all this with me, you got almost a complete car now. There's just a couple more steps that we're going to slowly have to go through. I'm really glad you made it this far. You should be really proud of yourself. So let's get started, anyways. Um, got a few things we got to do. Kind of thinking that we might move the frame, the car frame, just up for now, but we need to make a battery um, holder basically. And I don't know if we want to connect it to the side of the engine or what we want to do. Um, Probably go off here, but yeah, let's do that. So we're going to shift A, make a cube. And I just want to make sure that we're at the right height and stuff, so I don't want the other part to be out of the way yet. Now, maybe we'll make it go off of here, keeping in mind that this is probably going to move, and we're going to have to put some shocks in between these. But this post here should not move. So maybe we can use it at least to make a stand, so it makes sense why our battery's mounted. Anyways, let's get started. Let's put it on this side. I think it's typically on this side of the vehicle. It is on my car anyway, so if you want to put yours somewhere else or do something else with it, that's completely fine. I'm just thinking maybe actually, you know what we could do? This is an interesting idea, actually. I think this is a better idea now that I'm thinking about it a bit. So we'll make a battery mount, right? We'll make a bracket to attach it to the car frame, but then we won't attach it to the car frame. And then whenever you make a new car, you can just adjust it up or down and make a bracket to attach it. Might be the easiest way and make it make the most sense, because usually it's up away from that stuff, and in case something breaks, you don't punch a hole in your battery, right? Only other thing I could think that we're missing is an air filter, and we could do that after. We're going to have to do it like more of a new style than the old round ones that you'd find on top of your car type thing, but we'll figure that out when we get there, because we always do. I don't know if you guys have been playing Fishton, but there's another update coming up for Halloween. So if you've been playing, because a lot of people who subscribe have been checking out my game, and I'm really, 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 really grateful for that, guys. I really appreciate it. And it seems like they're having fun. Seems like they like a lot of stuff. We found a couple of small issues, but we'll get them fixed up. But I just wanted to mention there's going to be a big update coming up. Well, not a big update, a fun update for Halloween. We weren't going to do anything for Halloween, but because of uh, the numbers in the game jumping, we're going to try to do something special to show that we appreciate it. Alright, so we're going to go down here with this, right? And it's going to change, obviously, depending on the car itself, but we'll make the idea of it, right? Let's just grab those now that we kind of got them in place to where what we need. Okay. And then we'll make some kind of mount out of this. We just kind of need to sort it out how we're going to do it. So I would do something like this, right? And like this, maybe? Okay, so it's almost the same size. I know it's not back and forth the same, but I just copied that. I'll drag that back. Okay. Hard to know which pace to go at these videos. I feel like if I go too fast, some people are falling behind, and if I go too slow, some people are a little more advanced than I am, so they're like, what are you doing? Just hurry up, buddy. But I try to go at a pace that everybody can follow. Hopefully you guys understand why, and it doesn't make you angry, depending what level you're at. So I just use this piece to basically line up those two pieces and make sure we're all in line, right? I think that's a good way to do this. If you wanted to bevel this or something, you probably could. It's not going to be much of a big deal. But we'll grab that, Shift D. I don't know exactly how we're going to do this, but we're going to make a bracket that runs up there. So let's just try to center it a little bit. And we'll sort this out, what we're going to do, and then we'll copy it for the other side if it works well. Okay? So, okay. I know what to do now. I know what to do, guys. I always know what to do, don't I? Alright, so I'm going to dissolve that edge. And yes, there is another way to do this, and I just was learning about the tools that you can just make a triangle, make it to whatever shape you want, and you just got to go into the extra tools and add them on. But I haven't had a time to really mess with them too much. We've been making a lot of updates in the game, and I was trying to finish off these few Blender series, but some of them just keep going. I realize all of a sudden I'm 45 minutes into a video, and I need to end it, so just going to do something like that, right? Once you get it into place, and it looks good for you, because you're going to have to adjust its size for it's not hitting that bottom bracket. Or better yet, maybe we'll make it hit the bottom bracket more by doing this, okay? We'll move this down. Maybe we don't need that bottom bracket, actually. I'm starting to think we don't. Yeah, let's take it out. Okay, we're going to take that out. I don't think we really need that. I had one idea, but this is working a bit better, I think. For what we need, we're just going to make these into brackets. So once it's basically in place, and I'm trying not to take too much time to adjust it for you guys who are faster than me, and pause if you get behind and you want to take a little extra time, that's fine too. I'm going to Shift D, okay? Then I'm going to go like this, of course, because you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to shrink that just a little bit, right? Now we're going to have to move it a little bit, just a little bit. Split the gap between the outside and the inside, okay? Messed up there a little bit. As best as you can. Take your time more than me. I'm going to do an example, so I'll speed up, but something like that. And then you're going to grab the second one. We're going to bool the shape out. Difference, okay? And the reason I did that, as you can see, it kind of makes a fancy little bracket for it, alright? So I'm going to move it maybe towards the end, but not right at the end. So it looks pretty good to me. And then I'm going to Shift D, okay? We're going to do that and just eyeball it probably. I don't think we're on an axis, so no, we're not. We can't really use our stuff to make it like perfect, so normally I'd use plus and minuses to make sure it's exactly, but honestly that's probably good enough. It's a battery thing, so it's not going to matter that much. I think that's pretty good battery mount itself, so maybe put some screw holes in it if we can steal some screws from somewhere. I did just put some somewhere, didn't I? Am I thinking of my computer one? Yeah, there's one down there, isn't it? So what I would do, steal your bolt, right? Shift D, so you make sure you don't remove the one that's actually there. Just scoop her up like that. Go to here. And we're going to flip it around, so we need to figure out what our axis is. We want it to be exactly the opposite, so 180. That did not do it, it just made it upside down. So we'll do this one. There we go. No big deal. Alright, so what we're going to do, I'm getting a little out of whack here. Just take your time to move around so you can see what you're doing, of course. What I would do is basically this, okay? And what we're going to do is put a hole through both of these. So you're going to have to make sure that you're exactly on the middle. Have a look from both sides, up and down, make sure that you're in the right spot. Shift D it when you're ready, okay? Alright, so we're going to move this one a little bit back. Okay, make sure you're in the right spot that you want to be. Grab the other one, Shift D. Okay? The reason being is we're going to have to keep copying them as we punch through these things. Oh, so we're going to grab this one, this, object, bool, difference. Okay? Grab this one, object, bool, difference. Okay? So that should be our first holes. Then we're going to grab these, grab this, we're going to Shift D, grab one, grab this back piece, object, bool, difference. And you get the idea, right? Okay. Alright, now we should have two bolts that technically hold these to the mount through the wall. we want to make the bolts permanently stay on here and you just tighten them on, that's up to you. But as you can see, I don't know if you can see it, but there's 2 clear as day holes that should go. Oh, did it not go through? It might not have been long enough. We might have to do that second one again. So let's undo that, and then let's just go drag. I don't want to mess this up here. It's all in place too. What we're going to do is make these 2 super long. Okay? Just to make sure that we go through, basically. Should still have our... Oops. Do we still have our original ones? Undo that. Sorry. My bad. So then Shift D. Okay, these are the ones we're going to stretch because they're a copy. We don't want to ruin our originals. Got to be very careful of that when you're doing this stuff. Sorry, I almost forgot and made us make a mess out of this whole thing. Difference. There's our hole. Okay? Grab this one. Grab that. Difference. And the reason you can't see all the way through it is because our bolts are still there. Okay? Perfect. Maybe you want these bolts a little longer so they exactly fit in all the way to the back. That's up to you. Okay? Just stretch them a little bit just this way. Don't go the other way. You're going to mess up your bolts. I think that's good enough for what I'm after. So I'm going to leave them like that. So when and if you think you're done, wait for a second. You're not. I got a little thing we're going to do here. Shift D that, okay? And then we are going to hit S, shrink it a little bit, bring it up a little bit, okay? You're sure you're through, and if you like your edges, what we're going to do is take that shape out of here. Oh, wait. Before we do that, why don't we copy this shape, okay? As you know, that's always the best, safest thing to do. We're going to bool difference, okay? Now, why did we bool that? Because this is now going to be our battery. And it fits into that little bracket down there. We'll just have to put some kind of strap across the middle of it or something like that. And we'll have the whole thing built. So we're probably okay now to grab this piece. No, actually, grab that piece last. Grab this, 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 and then that, then Control J. So it's one piece, okay? The only thing that's not attached is our bolts. We want them to stay free for we can put our bolts in, take them out. You can attach them for now if you want, if you're going to move it around a bunch. Just remember to disattach it before you import to your game or have issues, right? So, looking pretty good, right? Battery's pretty square, so the only thing I could think that might be not square on a battery is maybe the top. We can grab the face if you like. You can Control B, just bevel it a little bit like that. I think that's more of a real battery shape. I'd have to check, and I'm not going to. So you guys can check and be a little more accurate if you want, or if you think that looks good, go ahead and follow the steps. I'm going to grab over here. I'm going to grab over on both sides, and I'm going to hit I. The reason I'm doing this is for I can put labels on them, okay? And then there'll be the color of the battery around it, but then you can see there's going to be a clear label there, okay? You do the same over here if you like. Move them up and down if you want, just with your arrows, you know, if you want to be higher or lower, okay? Just trying to get a little bit of a battery shape and a little bit of detail in it. The more detail you add into stuff like that, the more enjoyable it's probably going to be. Okay, I'm going to have to undo that. And the reason I'm in edit mode, we need to do that out edit mode. So I'm just going to go ahead and make a cylinder. Okay. So we'll probably end up finishing up after this episode for it's not too long and I don't bore you guys too long. But hopefully this has been a pretty big step. We got our battery done now. And we've made it for we can mount it to any vehicle. It doesn't have to be this frame if we don't want to. But we can use it as a markup to make sure that it's the right sizes and everything like that, like we kind of did, right? So, okay. Battery, Shift D. Let's take both of them and repeat them, Shift D. Drag them up. Take this one, we're going to hit, no. We're going to flatten them. So let's grab both and flatten them at the same time for the same. Okay. You grab one at a time. Around the same size, you can look here. This one's 122, 466. So I'm just going to lower it further a little closer. That's only 0.1 off. I think that's fine. No one's going to notice that, I think. So, yeah. Sorry, I keep on hitting A instead of S. That's why everything's lighting up like that. 169, 169. Let's try to match it over here. You can see the numbers going down with me. Just want to match them. 169, 169. It's 170. I accidentally went off. Well, that's fine. No one's going to notice that. Okay. And now we're going to go down to our battery. And those are going to be our terminals. Now that I'm looking up them, they look a bit small, so I'm just going to go a bit bigger again. 219, 354. Okay. And they should be the same height, the same size now, so we'll go ahead, we'll attach that one to this, Control J, that one to this, Control J, as long as they're in the position you want for your terminals. And then just bump them down. Put them as level as you can with the battery. Don't attach, don't attach them to the battery yet, because we're gonna do a strap over top of it, I think. Move those down until we're in, like that. Looking good, guys, looking good. Okay, when this all gets colored, I feel like we're going to be looking pretty good on this. So we probably want to do some sort of strap over top of this to hold the battery in, per se. We've already locked all those up, so we can't steal those pieces, so we're going to have to... Nah, we can't use that. Have to make a new one, okay, guys? Shift A. And... cube. Let's move for cube up. Cubes. Gotta love your cubes. Alright. I love cubes. I don't know what it is about them. I just freaking love these things. Like anything out of a cube, man. Alright, so I'm just gonna kind of do this. I'm gonna straddle probably just on the edge of here. So it looks like maybe it's mounted there. It's part of the metal. You can move it up. You can move it down. You can do whatever you need to do. Probably in the middle, though, would be good. And when I'm ready, I've got to Shift D. Move one to the other side. Same thing. Okay. Might adjust the height to make them more flush, but I think we'll just put a piece over top. So I'm just going to Shift D that again. Move it into the middle. And turn it to a 90 if I can figure out what the right axes are, and that's not it. Should make it flat for us. I'm going to move it up. Okay, now we got to make this make sense. How are we going to make this disattach and reattach for people? So let's think about this for a second. I think I probably have something. Okay, yeah, I got something. I got something, guys. Don't you worry. So, maybe I'll just adjust the height of everything. Hopefully it'll all go down together. We'll see. Nope. So, just grab that and that. And we're just going to shrink it here a little bit. Grab the wrong one. Something like that. So where it's almost level anyways. Okay. Move down a little bit. Okay. What was my bright idea again, guys? I forget. Just kidding. I got it. Yeah, that'll probably work. Why not? Why wouldn't it work, right? Let's try 90 here instead of 180. Oh, looking good, guys. Got it up and down, right? Then we just need to move it into place, and we'll do that. Maybe we'll thin this up so it doesn't overlap so much. Something like that. That's a little bit off, eh? Trying to get it all the way on. Take your time, pause the video if you want. You're going to want to take even more time than I am to make sure that it's absolutely completely square, because it's going to help with the look of your car. I think I just moved. I think it's like that, and it needs to go one more. It can be really hard. Oh, got it, I think. It can be really hard to get it the exact size, especially when you're just kind of guessing at it, but we could probably move the other pieces to make it a bit easier if you just cannot get it lined up, guys. So when you're done that, make sure you stay in line with it so you can see if this screw is going to be in line with it. Okay? Make sure it's going to go into the metal. Maybe make it a smaller, but a bit longer. Okay? To make it just kind of make sense for this piece. Maybe you want to do it a different way. If you do, let me know what you did in the comments if you decided you wanted to do it a different way or you didn't like my way. Tell me what part of the video you didn't like and what you did different. And tell me what parts that you really liked in the comments. I'd love to hear what you're enjoying and what you think could be better. So I'm going to do that, try to make sure it's centered in the metal basically, right? Because you'd be less likely to have a break through either side. You can do 2, you can do 1. I'm just going to do 1. So we'll Shift D it, just drag it to the other side, make sure same thing, that's going to be in line. That's definitely not. Something like that. We'll look at it from a couple angles. Okay. I think it's pretty good. Okay. When you're happy, grab both and Shift D. Okay. Like always, we need to make extras. So we're going to take this, punch it through this. There's going to be a lot of booleang, right? Because if you want things to make sense, you're going to have to take the time to make them make sense, right? It's all worth it in the end, but you can make them thinner, thicker, whatever you need, whatever looks good for you. And then take this and that and Shift D. Again, sorry, I hit the wrong buttons. Okay. And then we're going to take the same shape out of that. Bool. Difference. Bool. Difference. Okay? Okay. Now we should have our screw holes drilled all the way out for us. So when we pop these out, let's bring them out a little bit. Yep. Okay. Go right into it. Okay. Right. Makes sense, right? Now our screws make sense. Again, I would say we completely built that battery mount and battery car mount. So we've secured the battery and we secured the mount. So I would be okay with, I'd probably leave this piece as the piece you can remove, and then I'd make the rest of it actually attached to it, to probably this. Oops. Sorry, my bad. Again, I'm just hammering buttons today. I don't know what I'm doing. Sorry about that, guys. So like that, like that, like that. And I think we got it. So when you move this around, so maybe we'll just leave it up here for now. No, we'll probably have to move it in actually. Let's swoove her down there. Are those attached? No. So let's attach those to the battery. Control J. So that when we do move down, we can move 2 pieces at once. That'll move most of it except for all our screws and stuff. Okay? Looks like it's back too far. Okay. And maybe a little more farther this way. We can make another mount to kind of hold it out here if we want. but maybe we'll just leave it here for now because we know that's about where we want it. We want to be able to see it when we look into the hood, so it needs to be about there. Take our other pieces and then we'll just move them down there for now, for we can kind of keep them together and we don't get confused what's what, what's going on where, and all that stuff. Okay. A little hard to get in position. Remember, you can use your hand though. And just scoot her over. Perfect. Well, it's a little off. But I'm not going to get confused what's parts are which, right? We know what those are. Just need our screws. And to find an angle when we could actually see it. Should be just up and down. So it's not as hard to line up, at least. But it can be a little bit. Looks like I got it anyways. Good enough for now. We just want all those pieces together. I imagine there'll be an inner wheel piece, but maybe this will help us get our size for that. I don't know how long we are into the video, but maybe we'll wrap it up here and then we'll do some shocks in the next one. We need to do battery cables. Oh, we need a starter too. Maybe we can do that. I haven't figured exactly how we're going to do the starter into the engine. Probably do it underneath and into the front, maybe. That would probably make the most sense right about there, I'd imagine. But I don't know. If you guys have any thoughts or anything, let me know in the comments. Make sure you subscribe, make sure you like, and we'll get back to each other next video, guys. Thanks for being here. And like, subscribe, and you should see a link to my game below if you're interested. And check it out. It's on Steam. Pretty cool, pretty fun, pretty easy. And have a good day, guys. Peace.